everybody. I wanted to pop on and do a flip through. People ask me all the time, and I really haven't done too many, so I just thought I'm going to start loading them to my YouTube because I really want to do more here going forward. So I just thought I have so many journals that are done. Why not just start flipping through them since people ask so often? This is one that I actually just did a flip through, but in a minute on Instagram. And someone asked, oh, if only you could do a little slower. So I thought I would come here and do it here. This is the Dina Wakley Blue Edition journal. And to date, this journal has probably taken me the longest to finish because I was working on so many other projects throughout the year. Usually it takes me about 2 to 3 months to finish one of these, and I have several going at a time. So I might finish, like 2 or 3 every 3 months. So, but this one, it's been almost a year because I decided to do the 100-day project and the iCAD project, and I also wanted to explore making more handmade journals. So before I knew it, these kind of, went on the back burner. I'm gonna adjust my arm a bit, just so, okay. So anyway, this is like a year's worth of stuff. It might be a little bit less than that, but it's about a year. So at the beginning of the period that I was working on this, I was still kind of working through this grid phase, which I'm sure I will revisit, where I was kind of doing swaths of color in more neutral palettes and experimenting with doodles and just the juxtaposition of different kinds of materials, like print, handmade papers, sprayed papers, images that I drew, just watercolor, everything. And it was a really fun phase. Man, am I tired tonight? So I really enjoyed it. One of the things that I highly recommend, if you're doing any kind of botanical cutouts or fussy cutting or anything like that, I always like to save some of the silhouettes because they really make great fodder in the journals. So I always save those. This was something I did close to the release that Danielle Mack did for Stampers Anonymous. This was a stamp set called Bare Faces. So it's literally just a silhouette of a face, and then you build on it and make it your own. And I kind of copied her style a little as best I can because Danielle's a master. But I love when she makes the women that she tends to draw, she gives them a lot of like dreaded hair, these kind of cool like tubes of hair. It just looks so cool. So I wanted to kind of play with that because they just look so beautiful when she does it. So I thought I'm going to try that too. And just some watercolor doodles, and again, more of the kind of patchy art things. These are the Jane Davenport washi tape. She has a whole bunch that are I have some here actually. Eyes, mouths, noses. They're just so fun. So I did those in here. And again, kind of exploring the grids and, again, like vintage imagery with modern themes. I actually think this is in an article that I did for Somerset Studio. They approached me about this technique, so this is actually in the issue. And this is just me practicing my faces. I'm horrible at hair, but I don't care. That rhymes. But, just playing and practicing. For some reason in this journal, I didn't really put too much on the fabric pages. I usually like to, but if they start to get too thick, then it's hard for me to put them back on the shelf. So sometimes I'll kind of hold off. This came about when I was working on the 100-day project, and I happened to have a whole bunch of pieces of collage fodder that were in this color scheme. So I kind of threw them all up here. This is from Christy. That she sent me. I can't remember if this was part of a collage packet I bought from her, or if she sent it to me, but either way, Christy of Soul Positive Nazaro. This is hers. And just kind of, again, playing with the colors and the, you know, these are not something that I do too often. These silhouettes I also did for the 100-day project. This could be a fun YouTube video, so I might do that actually in the near future. This was part of a new release that came out. I think this is the Not Subtle stamp set. I could be wrong. But I came up with this idea immediately because I wanted to kind of have this idea of her head exploding with tons of ideas and thoughts and all kind of arty goodness. And I did a lot of this with stamps and scribble sticks. So I highly recommend it. It's a very fun technique. Scribble sticks are these pigment sticks by Dina Wakley, and she has tons of videos on how to use this technique. I may even have some in my IGTV if you scroll through it. And again, sometimes I'll just do blocks of patterns so I can doodle and make patterns because I really love to do that. This was more from the new release. There were block alpha stamps and silhouette stencils. This is called pensive stencil, I think. Just having fun and playing, kind of working in the same color theme. And then these are totally different. This is just kind of exploring abstract themes and figuring out how to make them go together. I can't say I got anywhere that made me excited here, but I really enjoyed the colors and the patterns and the process of just making this page. And this page was trying out one of the Roxanne Paget, I should know. She's one of the 12 fodder school teachers, and she's amazing. She's on Instagram. You have to check her out. She has tons of great little quick tutorials and ideas on how to make collages, and this was made with some wax paper melted together, and then I stitched her, and it was really fun way to make collages. And sometimes, you know, with my tags, I'll just use them to kind of experiment with colors. Especially the acrylic sprays work so nicely on here, and they kind of have these very cosmic effects, which I just absolutely love. This color palette I love. So I just threw that together. This is a really fun page. This is one of my, probably my favorite pages to date. I just absolutely love the color combinations. It just makes me happy. Something about the turquoise and the cheddar and this is a magenta pink, but when it goes over the green, it's almost purple. It's just super cool. And then this is like a Heidi swap sticker. So I like that. This is one of those examples of, I love the surprise of doing releases for people and getting sent stuff, and I don't know what they're going to send, and I didn't pick it out. So sometimes that presents a challenge because it may not be something I would normally choose to work with. And I'm not usually a green person. I kind of struggle with greens, especially this kind of foresty green. But because rouge had come out as well in the acrylic spray line, I put them together and I loved how it ended up looking. And I never would ever think to pull these two colors together, but I just love how it came out. So it's always fun to kind of challenge yourself with things you wouldn't normally work with. And I might start a series on that actually, because it's a fun way to kind of get out of your head and force you to do things that make you uncomfortable. And I feel like you kind of grow a lot more in your art making when you force yourself to do that. This was, again, just like a really, I think I had some leftover paint, but I also love playing with these two, like orange and turquoise together in various ways. So I just literally wiped my brush on this page, and I might have had some extra turquoise. And I mean, it probably took me 5 minutes to put this together because I just had stuff lying around. But I really I like the combination. This was based on a Dina Wakley class. She gave people some ideas on chipboard shapes and how to use them differently. But what I really liked was this idea of dripping watercolors down. And I actually added some glitter, which I don't normally do, but it just kind of gave it this ethereal look. It was very fun to work on. And here, this is a page where I have, this is from Stencil Girl. It's a Carolyn Doobie stencil. I think it's called Arches, but they're really fun. So I did those on like a newsprint, like a vintage book, I think. And then this is a little collage that I did from a magazine. It was from an article in the Somerset Studio magazine, but I had bought myself a couple of copies and I had cut some of the article up, and I found this hiding under my desk when I super cleaned my studio, and I was like, oh, I could just use that as collage. So I did that. That's my grandpa there. He has a fishing rod. Love this picture. I don't know if you can see. It's my little grandpa. Anyway, I put that together. Again, this is all from a class with Dina Wakley showing you how to play with the chipboard shapes. I just thought that was so cool. She comes up with the best ideas. This is tape from my friend Lisa Young. I'm trying to see if I have her tape somewhere. Oh, here it is. Here it is. It's really beautiful. This is washi tape. So if you go to Lisa Young Art on Instagram, you'll see it. There's a smaller one with the B, but my 5-year-old likes that one, so I'm not sure where it's hiding. It's not in its usual spot. And then this is from, so this is like a huge break that I took. I mean, from here to here, it's almost like 6 months maybe, or 4 or 5 month break that I took. And then the new release that just came out from Dina Wakley with Ranger, I started working on a lot of that stuff here. So I love these stencils. This is called the Growing Stencil and Mask Set, and she did a bird stamp set, which I love. Lots of tissue. So just playing with all the new goodies. This is also more tissue from that release. Lattice is a new stencil that came out. I love this combination of turquoise and cheddar, so I play with that one a lot. Here I stapled a paper towel scrap I had from probably mopping up some of this stuff, but I just like the design on there, so I saved my paper towel and used that as collage fodder. And sometimes I'll play and experiment with colors just on a tag, and I liked these watercolors together so much I wanted to save it to remember. So I just kind of left this empty and just add a couple of things so I can kind of remember how this looked. I just loved how that came out. And one thing I am trying to do more, and you'll probably see on my Instagram, is trying to let go of the like finished product idea and really remind myself to use my journals to write in, because that's what attracted me to art journaling in the first place. So I'm trying to do more writing and leave more space for that. So some of my spreads, you know, are getting more simplistic, and I'll just add, you know, just have a page that's more about writing, not so much about a technique or anything like that. This is also new stuff from the new release. There's a spray that's purple called Orchid. So I was having a lot of fun putting that everywhere. This is a spread that, with a lot of cutouts, that I got the idea from a woman named Lorna Shelburne, and she's on Instagram as the Wee Art Maker. She's amazing. I love her ideas, and I had seen her do this. She also does stuff for Ranger and new releases and things. So she basically did something very similar to this. She had used the birds in a nest, and I just loved what she did. So I decided to do something very similar. And I thanked her for the inspiration, because her stuff is so cute. You have to go check her out. And again, just kind of, again, adding more writing and doodling. These were scraps that I had left over, and I kind of threw those on there. And this is, again, just combining some elements on a page. This was a scrap that I was going to throw away, but I kept it because I liked the way the colors looked. And then this was experimenting with sprays. This is called Tangelo, which is new, and Orchid. So I love, like, purple and orange can actually look very beautiful together, as does turquoise and orange. So I play with those themes quite a bit. This was a leftover paper doll I did from a few weeks ago, so I kind of threw that in there. And that's pretty much the end of this journal flip through. But if you like it, just give me a thumbs up, because I'll keep doing them if it seems like people like seeing them. I always think flip throughs of mine, not other artists, because I like to watch flip throughs of other people's work. But I just assume it's boring. So, you know, I kind of rush through them because I'm like, ugh, this is so, you know. Anyway, so if you like it, I will keep doing them. Because, you know, I want to show you guys stuff that you're interested in. That is my main point. Anyway, have a lovely day, and thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time with another book.